at least I have some successes for this week, so let's celebrate them. Cheers. Welcome back, everybody, to me talking about all the wonderful things I didn't do last week and all the books I did read, or something like that, which is, well, the weekly Navel-Gazing, where I look at all the plans that I have and give a general update. So, let's start with all the reading I did last week. And yes, I did actually get some reading done again, which is, a good thing. I did, in fact, reread Neuromancer for a discussion with some offline friends, and yeah, that was fun, because, Neuromancer is a good book. I've read it multiple times. I've even made a video about it last year at some point, and yeah. If you haven't read it yet, go read it. Don't let anyone tell you it's not a good book. They're wrong, objectively. Anyway, great book. I reread it. I had fun. And then I reread Consider Fleabus by Ian M. Banks for the discussion we had on the Unabridged Burners Discord server for the, now actually ongoing culture read-along, and that was fun again as well, because, Consider Fleabus is also a good book, and people that say, don't start with that one, are objectively wrong, once again. So there we are. It was fun, and I enjoyed it, and yeah, and then I reread Wintersmith by Sir Terry Pratchett for the ongoing Discworld read-along, and that one is also a lot of fun, possibly the best of the first 3 Tiffany Aching novels, at least, and I enjoyed that one as well. If you haven't read it yet, go read it! What are you waiting for? So that's a lot of fiction reading I did last week, and I'm glad I'm back in that. I also did read some parts of The Golden Bough by James Fraser. That's also a reread. I read it years ago, but I think last time I read a different edition, which, with something that came out in 1 volume in 1890-something, expanded up to like 12 volumes over the first decade of the 20th century, to then be re-released republished in a 2-volume edition in 1922. Yeah. I have no idea which edition I read last time. This time it's the 1922 edition, because I need to look up some things, and it's always worth reading Fraser if you don't believe him. Just take him as inspiration. Well worth it. Go read it. So that's a lot of reading I did last week, and I'm happy. So the question is, what reading will happen this week? And frankly, I have no idea, because, it's a world of chaos. I will definitely continue reading The Golden Bough, because I have to, for my projects, and yeah, that's going to be fun. But that's non-fiction. The question is, what fiction will I read next? I could potentially start with The Player of Games, which will be the next culture novel, but since I'm better when I just binge read books if I want to talk about them, I might keep that one up the list until we've settled on a discussion date for The Player of Games, and, well, we'll see. I don't know yet. Possibly I'll finally get around to reading Hild, because, it's been a few busy weeks, so maybe this week I'll finally get around to starting Hild. I'm really looking forward to that one. Other books, I don't know. I'm out of Audible credits, so nothing new will join the whole thing. It has to be something I already have in my library for now. So that's reading plans. There might be other things that creep in. Who knows? It's a wild world, as they say. So let's look at, productivity and shit like that. And well, the good news is that I did that discussion on Discord with a few friends. Thanks for showing up, those of you who did, and we talked about, well, Consider Fleabus, and I had fun. I hope the others had fun too, and maybe for the next round, more people will join. If you want to do that, they're not recorded, they're just for us, for hanging out and discussing the book, so feel free to join the Unabridged Burners Discord server. It's linked down below, and join us for a discussion of, and conversation in a channel, and then later on a discussion in voice chat of The Player of Games in roughly a month's time, I guess? Sort of, maybe? We will see. I'd love to have you there, is my point. So yeah, that's something I did, even though it's not, productive in that regard. I also did try to record a video. In fact, I've recorded it 3 times by now, and I'm somewhat unsure. I'm sure the first version wasn't really good. The second one, I think, is better. I'm feel the third one might be even better, and the question is, will I record a fourth version, or will I just stick with the third version, and so forth. I wanted to have this out on Saturday, didn't. I wanted to have it out yesterday, also didn't. Well, it's not coming out today, because today is obviously navel-gazing time. The question is, will it be out tomorrow? I hope so. I mean, yes, it will be out tomorrow, guaranteed. In some form or other, it will be out tomorrow. Either that second or third or possible fourth version, but it will be out by tomorrow, so you'll get at least that video. Finally, more videos. Speaking of more videos, of course, there will be a Wintersmith video this week, and of course, there will be a Consider Fleabus video. That's the stuff that I have, sort of, and I mean, the good part about these videos like Wintersmith and Consider Fleabus is that they have a very specific topic, so I can't get off track in the way that that last video that I'm currently re-recording and re-recording and re-recording does, because that one is a bit more of a meta topic. It does rely on some Malazan characters once again. I'm finally coming back to some Malazan content in that regard, but it's still one that is a bit more general in its scope, and those are often a bit harder for me to make, because obviously I feel more insecure about those and feel I may have lacked, have missed some important details, forgotten to do some research and so forth. So these are either me having a spontaneous idea that I really need to shoot off immediately, or they can drag off into these weird long projects that I have not forgotten, because I'm still aware of others that I promised, and they'll just, it's a question of time. So there you have it. I didn't publish any videos, but at least I started recording some again, and that's a good thing. And I did also finally manage to publish the next post on my ongoing project on my Patreon. So those of you who are patrons, you can read it as of, I don't know, 2 hours ago, an hour ago, something like that. Yeah, I don't know, become a patron, read the posts, comment on it, or don't, it's all up to you. But at least I'm finally back on that project as well, which gives me some hope in general for the next week. Because the last weeks, 2 weeks at least, maybe 3 weeks, were a bit of a struggle. First of all, I felt sick after a concert, because, going to concerts in the autumn and then standing around on windy train stations is not necessarily good for your health. And then, I went to that festival, and going to a festival is really stressful, because, it takes a lot of energy talking to people all the time. So that happened. And then, of course, international politics also happened. And having family in the area, in Israel, does not necessarily help with a peace of mind. Luckily, my immediate family is now in safety, so for now I am, obviously I'm still very much disturbed and worried and sad, and feel helpless about the situation, like most of us do, I guess, like all of us do. But at least that very specific personal worry for my sister and her very young niece and her husband has, my very young niece and her husband has been allayed for now, which is a help, because I get easily distracted, and all these things kind of weigh me down. So that's something. At least, I went back to the gym this morning for the first time in 3 weeks, which is good, I guess. I finished that post, and I even reread it to take out some typos and mistakes I made, which is even better for me, because just like I hate rewatching my videos and hearing my voice, I really, really, really can't stand reading the words that I've written. Which will be interesting if I ever write anything longer and have to edit something. It's certainly something I've always struggled with. Reading my own words is hard, very weird and hard. So me actually managing to do that and publishing it is a huge step. I hope that the frequency of these posts, they're sort of a journal, a chronicle of my attempts of doing this project, are coming along a bit quicker now. I have the next one half written. I'll probably do one on, explaining the delay, because once again, the goal here is to chronicle an attempt of doing something, sort of. So yeah, maybe things will get better. I'll probably go and visit some family later this week, hopefully, to visit, my mother and my sister and my niece and my brother-in-law, and that may take away some productivity, but we will see how all of this goes. At least for now, I'm a bit more optimistic. I have some bureaucracy shit to go through that will possibly take a lot of time and energy, because I'm really, really bad at bureaucracy. It's not my strong suit. In fact, I get panic attacks whenever I have to do something official with the administration. But if it all works out, it may lead to a less financial stress for now, and less financial stress may make creativity more possible. And wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be great? Right? We will see. It's all a process. It may take a while, but for now, for today, I'm slightly more hopeful than I was last week, and that's something to celebrate. So I don't know. I hope you had a good week. I hope you read some good books. I hope you, did some cool things. Went and watched some concerts or whatever. I did that last week on a friend's birthday. I went and saw, once again, Paradise Lost and Primordial, whom I both really, really like. So that's cool. And tomorrow, if all goes well, I'll go to another concert and see the wonderful band Sown for their new album's tour, which is also great. The new album is great. I really enjoy it. So I don't know. Go check that out if you want. And in general, I don't know. Try to make something out of this weird time that we live in. Let's find ways to feel less helpless and do the things we can do. And read the books we want to read and so forth. Thanks for sticking with me. Like, subscribe, do the things that you're supposed to. Once that new video comes out tomorrow, I don't know, go watch it and comment on it. Having some form of feedback is something that really helps me to do stuff. It feels more meaningful in that situation, so that's something. But do what you want to do. Once again, if you feel like joining the Patreon, you get all the project stuff just for like $1 or whatever it is, €1, $1 per month. So there's that. I'll talk in more detail about the project once I'm a bit further along. I'm really glad I didn't. I was itching to do so because I have a project, I have a new toy, I want to share it with everyone all the time. Yeah, but yeah, and then I didn't do anything for 2 weeks, which already felt like a bit of betrayal, so I'm glad it's only on the Patreon. Only, all 15 of you patrons got to worry whether I actually already stopped doing the thing that I promised to do. No, I haven't stopped. So maybe next week I'll have time to explain in more detail what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. We will see. It's a thing. If you're curious, there is a Patreon. If not, it will all go public once the project is over, for better or for worse. So you can, wait until then. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a great week, or the greatest possible week, which is sort of, a very Leibnizian view of weeks. Anyway, see you next time. Thanks and cheers.